a collection of photographs taken a quarter century ago in 1991, featuring residents of Springfield's North End, is now on display at the Wood Museum of Springfield History. The images, donated by photographer Bill Hughes, depict the city's Latino community and show, in the words of the photographer, an ever-present and quiet underlying source of strength and optimism, visible even in those individuals who had lived a life of much hardship and strife.
Look at this! Look at this! Look at this!
It's almost like fishing. Somebody said, how can you become a good photographer? Well, you become a good fisherman by fishing a lot. It's the same thing with photography. You don't sit at home talking about equipment or looking at equipment in a catalog. You just have to go out there and shoot, shoot, shoot.
Up. Ah, beautiful!
I've almost always been a photographer since about the age of 6. Throughout high school, I took photographs for the yearbook, but also I was very interested in music. So music took over pretty much my life, and it wasn't until probably about 10 or 15 years after that that I started to delve back into photography as a serious thing to do. I keep coming back to people photography. I've tried to shoot some landscapes and I'm just not into it. I like the personal contact that comes with being close to another human being, looking into their eyes. When I'm out in the streets, if you will, photographing, I try to make eye contact with people, and I always get a sense of they being receptive to what I'm about to do. My camera is out in front of me. It's obvious that I'm not trying to conceal it and jump in and take a picture paparazzi style. But I look for a certain receptiveness on their part, and I either sense it or I don't sense it. And it's interesting because as I look back, there have been very few instances where I was rejected as a photographer. Maybe it was just my luck at the time, but I can't recall any instances where somebody has said, no, absolutely, don't take my photograph. The name of the exhibit is Faces of the North End, and it's currently taking place at the Lyman and Marywood Museum of Springfield History. This particular group of photographs was started in about 1991. I started going out in the North End during my lunch hour, just photographing in the neighborhood. One thing led to another, and I started going out on some weekends photographing. One of the things I always tried to do was, after I had photographed an individual or a group, I always made a print and returned it to them. This is a photograph that was made at a Puerto Rican festival. I love the grouping, this beautiful young lady looking at someone on the stage. Here is a picture that I made of a man by the name of Vicente. He was sitting on a stoop in the north end of Springfield. And this is one of my favorite portraits, something that I take great pride in. I'm not sure what my expectations are for my pictures, but I know that when I look at pictures, whether they're 15 years old, or they're 50 years old, or 200 years old, I, for just a moment, transport myself back to that time, and I look at the people in it, and I suddenly have a sense that, yes, they were human beings. They lived, they had their problems, they had their concern, they were happy, they were sad. And I would hope, I think, that people, when they look at my photographs tomorrow, the next day, that they would see something very positive in them, that it would reflect the human spirit as I experience it when I'm photographing.